Exciting times, folks. SpaceX isn't public yet, but some investors are acting like it already is. Over the past few months, money's been pouring into a number of space related stocks. One of the biggest winners has been Firefly Aerospace, ticker symbol FLY. Like I'm going to go fly somewhere. FLY, fly on the wall. The stock has surged about 150% in just 3 months. Rocket Labs also attracted enormous investor attention. Financial media outlets are suddenly fascinated by all things space. So, what's going on? Why are these stocks moving so aggressively? And one answer is simple: investors are preparing for SpaceX. You know, SpaceX may IPO on NASDAQ under the ticker symbol SPCX. SPCX. That's a good symbol. This may happen as soon as Friday, June 12th. And if it happens, it could become one of the largest and most anticipated IPOs in market history. And at issue now is this one little tiny fact here, which is most of us still can't buy SpaceX, at least not yet. So what do? We look for alternatives. And we've seen this in same behavior before. During the AI boom, investors wanted exposure to AI. And a lot of people bought NVIDIA, but a lot of people also bought other companies connected to the same AI theme: AMD, Palantir, ARM, Supermicro, TSMC, dozens of others. And some people benefited because those businesses are directly still in AI. Others benefited because investors wanted exposure to the broader story. And you remember, excitement spread, narrative spread, money spread, everything got real big real quick. And it looks like the same thing is happening now with space. When I look at Firefly, Rocket Lab, there's several other space related names. I don't just see individual companies. I see investors trying to buy a future they believe is coming. And that future may involve a rapidly expanding commercial space economy, lower launch costs, more satellites, national security contracts, commercial activity beyond Earth, private industry doing things that once could only be done by governments at probably one third the cost also, right? You know how that goes. And this is the optimistic vision. If that vision becomes reality, then the companies participating in it could have enormous opportunities over the next decade. But there's another side to the same story. Firefly Aerospace is now worth billions of dollars. The stock has more than doubled in a very short amount of time. Whenever a stock rises that quickly, investors should ask a simple question, which is how much of the future's already priced in now? You know, how much of the future am I buying when I buy this stock? Because a great story can become an expensive story, right? And expensive stories can sometimes become dangerous stories, right? If it's expensive, it could also, we run into a snag somewhere and everybody knows what happens with that. The market doesn't merely price what exists today. The market prices expectation of mañana, right? It prices hope, excitement, possibility, the space narrative, all these things. And sometimes expectations can run ahead of reality of what is. And that's why I find the psychology of all this fascinating. Investors aren't just buying earnings, investors are buying a vision of the future. They're making a bet on what the world might look like 10 years from now. And whether that optimism proves justified remains to be seen. And personally, what interests me most isn't whether Firefly goes to $60 a share or $100 a share. It's whether we're witnessing now the early stages of something much larger, you know, a re-rating of the entire space sector. The same way AI lifted companies far beyond Nvidia itself. Because if SpaceX successfully reaches public markets, which it looks like it's gonna, it will, it's gonna happen probably, right? Investors may continue looking for other ways to participate in the growth of commercial space. And if that's true, then the story may not be SpaceX alone. The story may be the entire ecosystem surrounding it. So either way, money is paying attention right now. And when the capital starts moving, it's usually worth asking why. As a reminder, I'm not a financial advisor at all. I'm just a regular working stiff sharing my observations and opinions. Please do your own research before making any investment decisions, and I will see you good people next time.